Yeah, he's live.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cornwallis Beaumont Esquire. I'm the CEO and president of Meta World Luxury. And as the parent company of AminSellsStraps, we are proud to present the second annual AminSellsStraps or ASS Awards. We've got a lot of categories, a lot of fun, and we've got a lot of horological firepower with our numerous luminaries on the judging panel. So, without much further ado, I'm going to send it over to Bobby Legs for our opening credits.
And welcome to the second annual AminSellsStraps Awards. With your host, Amin. Co-hosted by Colin, Marcus, and Bobby Legs.
Perfect. That's everything I envisioned and dreamed about.
I kept waiting for the cartoon of you guys to come in.
Nope.
Just me.
Just you.
That's okay. So again, welcome to the second annual AminSellsStraps Awards. I am your host, Cornwallis Beaumont Esquire, and I'm joined by a who's who on the panel. Unfortunately, Cho couldn't make it tonight. He requested that he only show up for whole live streams that are being hosted on the road. So he's only going to be, and we've granted him that. So we're gonna allow that. So without much further ado, I'm gonna hand it over to we'll go around the horn and check in with Colin.
Oh, me first?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
All right. How's it going? I'm just gonna talk like this today. Don't mind me. I lost a tooth.
Oh man, that's the one, huh?
Yeah.
Actually, I chipped the one and they fixed it, but then the one next to it was busted, so they yanked that. So yeah, I'm in the middle of multiple dental visits, so it's gonna be fun.
So it's kind of cool to see like professional hockey players with missing teeth. You know what I mean? Because they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
You were just having fun.
No, this is cool.
It's really cool. I gotta say, it's
okay.
Yeah.
I
mean, he spit his blood at the guy's feet after he got cracked.
That's pretty badass.
That's
actually.
pretty badass.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty good. Anyway, I'm wearing a new watch.
Oh yeah, let's get a solo shot on that if we can.
Oh yeah, sure.
So this is IWC Pilot's Chronograph 41.
Congrats, man. That was awesome.
Thanks, man.
All right, Amin, what's up?
Yeah, I like to commemorate special dates. So for the ASS Awards, I got my Toxic UN. 21-21, right? 12-21-21.
Yeah, I think today's the it's the last 21-21 of the year. Perfect.
Yeah. So good to be here.
Awesome. And Rob, are you wearing your Submariner?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, if Amin's wearing the Toxic UN, I have to be wearing the Submariner. Of course.
Yubby.
All right. So I'm gonna let Rob just say hi to everyone in the chat, and then we'll go to the awards.
Cornwallis.
Beaumont, let's say hello to everyone.
What are you wearing today?
Oh, I've got my
yeah,
pants.
That's right.
Nice.
113.
Very nice. It goes with the tie. I like it.
Yeah.
Marceau's here. Hey, Marceau, how you doing? Kevin S, what's up? Justin's here. Hey, Justin. Chaz from the Berg. Bill K. Hey, Rick is here. How are you? Let us know what you're wearing as well today. Junior Johnson, hello from Michigan. Steve, Mr. Cassioke is here. Good to see you. AZ Clayton, Sanjay is here. Welcome, Sanjay. Mr. Duffy, how are you? Good to see you on this one for sure. A very important, probably the biggest stream that we will have all year, right? I mean, it's at the
Yeah,
end of the year.
I think so.
Neff is here. How are you, sir? Scrolling further. Ep, what's up? How are you? Caliber is here. Dan is here. Thank you, my friend, for showing up. Joe, how are you? Scrolling. So a lot of comments already today. Ken Spear checking in from Pittsburgh. Kevin S. Pale Horse, how are you? Welcome. Roar of the Tiger. Cornwallis, I was expecting Ricky Gervais.
Sorry, I'm budget Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, yeah, poor man's Ricky Gervais. Lord Lofi, what's up? Marcus, hey, do you have Crocs on right now or no?
No,
No,
I'm just
okay,
sitting in my
okay.
bedroom, so this is
Does
the
he
Okay.
have
fanciest I've
pants
dressed up
on?
all year.
Yeah, do you have pants on? Hey, Chris, how you doing? Wearing the Vacheron Dual Time.
Ooh,
Very nice,
nice.
man. He's got some access to some nice watches, dude.
Yeah, man.
Um, Justin is here. Best award show on the YouTubes. Well, thank you. Um, Paul, what's up? Brownie, how are you? Pierre Martin. Hey, look who's here. Random Rob, what's going on? How are you, sir? Brendan Nelson, he's wearing his IWC Pilot chronograph, 41 millimeter on the green dial. Very, very nice.
Sweet.
Tuxedo Manor. Cowboy Swami is here. Hey, Alex, how are you? Rob is wearing the Seiko Sarb 059 Alpinist. Ooh, interesting. Very nice.
Cool.
AZ Clayton with his new pickup, the Lake Sua.
Yeah,
Jason
Clayton
all the way
has
from
been
Aruba.
knocking him out of the park.
Yeah, he has been for sure. And Chad's wearing the new Zin 103, the
What a
limited, the
beautiful
classic 12.
chronograph.
It's awesome.
Super nice.
First Zin with a ceramic bezel insert too.
It's a
They
really
just
good looking watch.
you
Yeah,
got the dial proportions so
Yeah.
nice on that
I know,
watch.
I know.
Yeah.
What a great
Yeah.
watch. What a
Yeah.
great watch. I missed out on that one, for sure. Uh,
Is that
and-
limited?
yeah, 600
Oh.
pieces. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's gone. It was gone after a few days. Yeah, great watch. Yep, that's in is awesome. Okay, so we went through the introductions and I'm ready to kick it over to Cornwallis Beaumont if
Perfect.
we're ready to hit the first category.
Let's
Are we
bring
ready?
up the first category. Yep.
Yep. Okay.
So the first category is the Engineer Wannabe, You're Precious and I Appreciate You Award. So this is just a nod to our friend of the channel, Sanjay. Sanjay's, as you know, he's very positive. He's always looking on the bright side of things. He sees the best in people. He sees the best in some watches. So I thought that it would be a good shout out to Sanjay to name this award after him. So this award is given to the watch that we've had the most positive change in opinion about over release this year. So I'll start off. Let's kind of go in order. So let's go with Amin. Amin, talk about the Hermes.
So Hermes H08 is a watch that I think I had pretty positive impressions of even when I first saw it. But it's really just grown on me the whole year, to the point where I think it's we don't see a lot of watches that bring too much new to design, and I think it manages to be very versatile, but at the same time a very original design. The font is very original. The dial layout, um, it's got an in-house. Well, no, I guess semi-in-house Fleurier
Yeah.
movement, right?
It's a Valche.
Valche.
Yeah.
It is. It's thin. It's great looking. I just find myself liking it more and more. It was almost my watch of the year award by the time we did this. So at least in the what was the category you came up with, under 35,000? but for watch of the year. But yeah, this one I was positive from the beginning, but more and more so as the year went on.
All right, Rob, let's go with your tutor.
Yeah, the Tudor Black Bay 58 925. I am uh, originally had owned the original Tudor, and I owned the Black Bay 58 and then the Black Bay 58 Blue. I wasn't crazy at all about this particular release. Um, I just I understood why I release a watch in silver. I just didn't get it. And then they followed it up with a gold, 18 karat gold, and then eventually a bronze release. And I wasn't really crazy about it, as as one who is a big fan of the Black Bay 58s. But it started, the corner started turning after a while, when I knew some people who had this watch, and were singing its praises. And the color scheme is beautiful on it. I love that taupe look of the silver. It has grown on me, and I would have to say, it for me, it's probably the clubhouse favorite of all the Black Bay 58s now. I mean, I think I like it more than the original. So definitely a watch that at first I wasn't too crazy about. It was a head scratcher for me, and then it just continually to grow on me over the last couple of months. And really, the people who've who own this watch that I know singing its praises has also helped me flip on this watch more than any other watch that this year that I had a negative initial reaction to. So yeah, my pick here.
Are you gonna re-add this instead of the BB58 original? That's something to consider.
The part that's appealing is that it's a silver case, right? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that'd be something very different in my collection. So it is quite possible. It is quite
Yeah.
possible that if I do go the Black Bay 58 route again, um, that this would be the leader, the
I hope
first
there's a
option.
Bobby Legs rebuy of the 58.
Yeah,
Rebuy. Yeah.
Rebuy.
yeah, yeah.
All right, Colin. Let's see what you've got for us.
Yeah, I mean, so I got the Moser Streamliner Perpetual Calendar. I didn't hate the watch when it came out, but I've been getting fed up with Moser. I feel like they've been recycling a lot of their designs and movements throughout their catalog a bit. And when this came out, I was just kind of fed up with it, and I kind of just shrugged it off. But the more I look at it, it really is a unique watch. Great bracelet, super comfortable. It's really the cleanest perpetual dial out there. Um, it's got a really discrete power reserve, discrete month indicator, the big date, very nicely finished movement. The sizing is good for a lot of wrists. It's like 11 millimeters thick. Um, so really, it'll fit a ton of different wrists. It is a really good watch. So this is more of me just probably being a little stubborn at first, and coming around. It's a great watch. So I've come to like it.
Yep. So we also got Joe there. He's here in spirit, if not in person. So we've got a little Kyrie graphic there. So all right. So my pick was the Black Bay ceramic. I was really negative on this to start off with. I was talking about how I'd rather have the Omega, but seeing both in person, I don't think I like the whole fully blacked out aesthetic. But I like the fact that it's like partially blacked out, and the only thing that's not blacked out are the hands and the markers, which actually is a much more interesting aesthetic than having the bezel, everything completely blacked out. So I still don't think that it's worthy of the GPHG award. Like I maintain that the Garrick was robbed for the Petit Agui. I think most people will agree. The Petit Agui, it's like, for those wrestling fans among us, it's like the Intercontinental title. You're using it to like elevate something that's up and coming. But then the WWE, they started misusing it, and they started throwing in like stale main eventers they didn't know what to do with, and And that's kind of how I looked at the GPHG decision, because if you look at it from a purely objective standpoint, this is a well-established model. This is all they did was swap the materials, and they changed a couple of design cues. So from a rational perspective, I really shouldn't like it. But irrationally speaking, once you look at it, it just looks so cool. So I love it. I hate how much I love it, and I hate that I'm considering spending my own money on it. But I guess that's kind of the spirit of the You're Precious and I Appreciate You award. Like you're just irrationally becoming positive about a watch that you might not have liked.
It's a good explanation of why GPHG is the second best award show of the watch award show of the year as well.
That's true. Okay.
And I hope you. And I also one last thing. I hope you learned your lesson. You never bet against Tudor.
Yeah.
When they go on these awards.
Yeah.
Marcus, before we move on to the next category. Well, I mean, you wanted to talk about Joe's pick here real quick, or
no?
Okay, yeah, it's Kyrie Irving. Let's
Boston Kyrie, face mask Kyrie.
Yeah.
Face mask. Yeah.
Let's check with the chat real quick before we move on to the next category. Chaz, yeah, the Paul award here. Nefs likes the H08. It's fantastic. Design Atelier Hermes gets his vote. In a total surprise, the winner of this year's Sanjay Award is a pen. Rick likes the Hermes as the Sanjay Award. Joe saying top 5 release of the year. Yeah. AZ Clayton, Bobby, and Marcus have great taste. Just saying, I suspect he has a couple of these particular selections here. Paul, he loves his. Yep. Chaz agreeing about the Hermes. Let's keep on going here. White Birch gave me all kinds of whiplash this year. White, hold on to that thought, Sanjay. Let's see here. Kudos to the Tudor 925 and the Hermes 08. The Bobby Legs Rebuy Fest is coming. Let's see here. Moser is cool, but a bit in person. Okay, I guess a previous conversation here. Let's go further down here. Oh, hey, Watch Collection Strategies here. Hey, AB, thanks for joining us. Okay, so let's move on to the next award, Marcus, and we have the.
So, this is named after another friend of the channel, our good friend Mark, who runs the Instagram Talking Watches, and he features a lot of food and watch pictures. So excellent pictures. So give him a follow, check him out. The thing that we most remember about Mark is that he falls in love very quickly, and he falls out of love with watches very quickly. Especially when it comes to independent makers, when it comes to indies. And I know for a fact that Mark has canceled more deposits for independent watches than the mainstream media has canceled Bomo Brothers. So I think that's 3. So again, the Curse of the Talking Watches Deposit Award is given to the watch where I guess we changed our opinion of the watch for the worse. So
okay. So a certain nobleman here who designed the categories made over 40% of the categories, I'll say, negative in some respect. But in this particular one, I think that the spirit of it is, when our friend Mark changes his mind about a particular deposit, it's not that he goes from loving the watch to hating the watch. It's from going from loving it enough that he's going to buy it to, not really wanting to buy it anymore, right? Not loving it that much compared to other options. So that to me is how I look at the Chapek Antarctique, is that I loved it when I first learned about it. I still love the watch, but whereas it was a watch that I could see myself, if I were spending that much money, would be at the top of my list for what I would buy. It's now a watch that I, appreciate other people wearing. I still think it's a phenomenal watch. It's no longer a watch that's at the top of my list that I would consider buying. So I think it is it looks extremely high quality. I've never handled one. Maybe handling one I changed my mind, but um, one of the most distinctive things to me against the competition is the movement. It's a really great looking and unique movement. Um, the rest of the watch is a, a little bit. I feel like it plays it a little safer design wise than some of its competition. So, the Streamliner kind of really went there with the bracelet. Um, the Octo Finissimo takes some real chances with the overall design.
Yeah.
What else would it go against? I mean, I feel like it played it, super high quality, but it didn't go out really on a limb with the design. So it's maybe more of an all-rounder in and where I'd be looking for sort of a specialist. But anyway, I cooled off on it a little bit. That's all I can really say.
All right, Bobby. Let's split up our diatribe. So I'll let you go first, and then we'll go to Colin, and then I'll finish it off.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be just probably a little bit kinder than than you are, Marcus. But not to say that you're going to be mean about it. But I really liked this release when I first saw it, and I thought, wow, this would be an interesting uh, place to jump into Grand Seiko, right? Wouldn't it? Yeah, I know it was kind of hard to get, and still relatively hard to get. Um, and I just thought it was very very interesting with that dial. But then I just got a little bit fatigued by from it, and seeing it everywhere, and kind of thinking to myself, well, okay, that's just another funky dial that Grand Seiko is, and it's basically more of a commentary that I've cooled on Grand Seiko in general. And so where I initially really liked this watch and would consider purchasing, I and kind of like a little fell out of it a little bit, and it's no slight against the watch. It's just maybe just a whole feeling I have about Grand Seiko in general. And plus, I've known a couple of guys who've owned the watch and now are selling the watch, getting rid of it. So that's also kind of like a testament to it. I look at that as a as a sign to maybe just pull off from this a little bit. So that's how I feel about the white birch. Colin?
Yeah, so I went with the Chrono Tokyo, specifically the Tiffany dial or the Saiji. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm a big fan of Asaoka's independent work. So the idea of owning a Chrono has been attractive to me because I can't get any of his indie stuff, right? Like his high end stuff. Um, but over time here, when it first came out, I was like, yeah, this is sweet. I want to get it. And they kind of just keep going to the well with this design. Just change the color. Um, it's probably too small for my taste. I've heard from a few owners that they're kind of just unsatisfied with the finishing quality of the watch. It's not really a great movement, anything like that. Uh, and I also kind of think that they should have stuck to their guns on this being like a female only watch. They kind of started down that path, and then people started complaining. Men started complaining, and they backed off of it, and instead it went to a bunch of flippers. And it, yeah, that kind of bugged me. They should have stuck to it, I think. So that's why this got the award for me.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
For sure. Like the finishing on the case, that doesn't look particularly good, even from the the manufacturer's pictures. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah. So for Cho, we've got Brooklyn Kyrie. Just so that we go.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not a negative person, guys. So I'm not going to go negative on the white birch, right? So if you think about it, this category, you must have started out with positive feelings about the watch to begin with, and I will start by saying that I absolutely believe that it deserves its GPHG award. Unlike the Tudor ceramic, which I don't think it deserved, I absolutely believed it did. The only reason I picked against it was because of my hesitancy about the actual judging panel, and not the watch itself. It's it's got a historic movement. It's less than 10K. It's got the 44 GS case. It's got everything that you could want in a watch. But I don't know. It kind of left me empty at the end. Like, looking at it in person, it might just be the case. It might be the textured dial. It might be the markers, but at the end of the day, I was offered it at a very, very reasonable price, especially given the fact that this is a waitlisted piece, pre-owned, and I didn't buy it with my money. And when I started out, I would have bought it with my money, new, full sticker. I would have picked it for every single award. But at this point, I'm here saying, yeah, it deserved the award, but I'm not picking it as my watch of the year, and I did not spend my money on it. So that's where I stand with that's my reasoning behind picking the SLGH 005, the white birch. It's not that I hate it. It's just maybe I came from a 10 down to a 9, or an 8.
Fair enough. Kevin S. Dow Furniture, who let Maso in the chat? Yeah, I mean, some love for the white birch here. Paul would like to see it in a smaller case and different dial and furniture.
I'm just going to show how big of a nerd I am by basically, like, I think that if I'm ever going to buy a Grand Seiko, it's going to be this movement. I know that everyone talks about the spring drive, and all that, but for me, I've got to go with the purely fully mechanical movement. It brings me back to in the novelization of the last Star Wars movie, The Revenge of the Sith. I remember Obi-Wan Kenobi's talking to Samuel L. Jackson's character,
you went
Mace Windu.
full nerd.
Yeah, I went full nerd.
Yeah.
So they're talking about who is the best Jedi master to defeat this droid who's mastered all 7 forms of lightsaber combat, right? And so Mace Windu is this super powerful master. He's invented his own form that only he knows how to use. So Obi-Wan is like, you need to be the one to do it because you invented this new form, right? And you're the master. And then Samuel L. Jackson's character looks at Obi-Wan and he says, who is greater, the master who creates a new form to overcome his own weaknesses, or someone who's mastered the old form, like the traditional form? And for me, I think there's a lot to say about the fact that they've innovated within the box with this movement. I think that spring drive is awesome. It's innovative. It's technical. But I think that being able to innovate within the confines of traditional horology says something too. And the movements look way better than any of those garbage GS spring drive movements. Those look terrible to me.
And the fact that they took both of those lines, increased the power reserve, and made them thinner this year is pretty amazing. Yeah. They're doing some serious work.
Nerd speaks to nerd here. I totally understand what you're saying, Marcus.
No, Sanjay has not watched any of those movies.
That's true.
I didn't understand one word.
Maybe he read the books.
Maybe.
Comic-Con meets Baselworld.
See, I think you'd have to look at whether the droid had more. I know you said it mastered all 7 styles, but whether it was more of an offensive droid or more of a defensive droid, because Obi-Wan's style is all about defense, Mace all about the attack.
We gotta keep this moving, fellas.
Yeah.
Colin.
Okay. Okay. And let's move on to the next award. Marcus?
There's some
So-
pretty watches there.
I would like to at this point, Meta World Luxury is glad to give our shout out to our partners, Yabi Eggs, who's kindly agreed to host the awards today, as well as Yoma Shop, not to be confused with Doma Shop, because they're not a partner of this show. So basically, this says it's by itself. It's just basically a cool watch you'd buy with someone else's money. It's not something that you wouldn't buy with your own money, whether it's because of the price or because it's too, I guess it's too non-traditional or atypical. So let's just run through these. Amin?
Should I start again? All right. This Line A or Lane or however you pronounce it, V38 with the micro rotor movement. Oh, I've been looking at it a lot. I send you guys text messages of this watch a lot. I love it. It's beautiful. I like the ones with guilloche. I like the ones without guilloche. I like all different kinds of versions of this watch. Somehow I can't pull my wallet out and and get over the hump. So, it's still, I would say, on my top 5 watches most likely to buy for 2022. But with someone else's money, it's a no-brainer for me. The craftsmanship is fantastic. The size is just right. The movement is special. The dial execution is special. So, with someone else's money, I'm pulling the trigger right away.
It's a beautiful watch.
Yeah, it's a beautiful watch, definitely, for sure.
You've gotten me close, Amin.
Yeah, like I'm so close that if Colin would go in with me, I'd probably do it.
Group watch. That would be
Yeah.
a super expensive group watch.
I probably would be number 2 in our group. If somebody was like, let's do it, I would be anybody's wingman on this watch.
I'll go next. So this the Romain Gaultier Continuum that came out about a month or two ago. I love this watch. I think it's around 35K. Obviously not my money. I wouldn't be able to buy it with. And I know I know it's not to some of the finishing standards that people are accustomed to seeing with Romain Gaultier, but I think it's just a fun sports watch. I know that the numbers are not asymmetrical in size. I know it's not. People don't like that red crown at the 2 o'clock position, but this watch is just so sleek. It looks like a concept car to me, and I love it. I love the lines in it. I think it's just awesome. And if I had money to burn, I don't care if people look down on this watch because it's not your typical Romain Gaultier. I love it. This would be my first Romain Gaultier. For sure, hands down. I love this watch.
I like it too.
You're talking me
Really
into
nice.
it. Well, no, I'm not going to buy it. I'm coming around. And it's got the Joe painted red crown.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
I've seen macros of the movement lately, and boy, the finishing is nice though. Maybe it's
really
not
good.
logical one, but it looks super good. Looks
It's
amazing.
third or even a quarter of the price of the logical one too.
It
right?
looks incredible. Yeah.
Colin, tell us about your work.
So I love the UR100 design. It's satellite time complication. It's got a gorgeous rotor. Love the case shape. Everything about it. So, and then now they've done it in full titanium with titanium bracelet. So it's super light. It looks super comfortable because the links are really really thin, so it articulate really well. I really love this watch. It's 60 grand, only 25 pieces. If I were a richer man, I think I'd try it. It takes a lot of balls to buy her work too, I think, because that's pretty out there, right? So you got to kind of have some real stones to pull it off, I think. But
it's pretty out there, and I feel like we know some people who buy some serious expensive watches. We don't see too many people buying these, but they sell for sure. I mean, you can't find a pre-owned one. If you do, seem like they're over list.
they're really picking up. I mean, everything's picking up.
Everything's picking up. I
yeah.
freaking love them.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally love them.
Do you want to hit up the chat, Bobby?
Yeah, sure. Let's see what people are saying. Old Roman goat. Let's blow 35K on a fun sports watch. Amen. That Pam look would weigh like 3 pounds. We're gonna get to that with Marcus's thoughts on that. Line A looks great, especially when you factor the price. Nifs with me on the RG. MJ, he gets a little thrown off by the red crown. Joe, he likes the RG with someone else's money. That's exactly why we're doing this category for sure. Rick is saying if you go RG, it's got to be the logical one, period. Well, money, Yeoman Gautier, all right. Worky Colin.
I wish.
No, you work for me. Let's see here. Ross. I need a leather jacket and a motorcycle for that. You work. Line A for me too.
There you go. I could see Sanjay getting one of those. That'd be a good watch for him.
Yeah, that would totally be a good watch for him, right? So you chose an overpriced Italian boat anchor? Interesting.
Well, I didn't buy it. So, guys, I love Pam. I love the design. Their design language. It looks cool. This is a 42, so it's definitely wearable for me. I like the idea of bronze. I thought the original bronzer was cool. It is. I mean, this is it's limited production, right? It's limited annual production. It's boutique only. So you won't take too much of a bath on it, right? But at the end of the day, it seemed overpriced to me. And then Colin and I were kind of talking about that this morning, about this concept of overpriced. And really, it's the hot watches that retain their value well, they're all going to be overpriced, and that's pretty much true. And I think I'm willing to buy like quote unquote overpriced watches if they're like the top dog, right? But if you look at this is cool. It'll probably keep its value, but it's not the top dog. It's like you've got the Geo, you've got the Blancpain, you've got even the Yub Mariner. This is not the top dog. This isn't like like an Overseas or a Royal Oak top dog, because I think those are overpriced a little bit too. As well as it's not a big Pilot either, right? Those are the kind of top dogs that I would accept buying an overpriced piece for. But this is not one of those things where I would kind of pay the hot watch premium, even if it is something that I can get at list. I feel like list is overpriced. So I think this is something that I spitballed at the start of the year, like with you guys.
Yeah.
But in the end, I was like, probably not.
It's a sweet watch, though.
Yeah,
but I get
it looks
it.
cool.
Yeah.
And if anyone's interested, we've got Cleveland Kyrie for Joe.
Andres saying, I'm sorry.
We all interpreted these categories differently, like all of them, but it's cool.
Yeah,
I dig it.
Andre saying the Pam is so overrated. Hate that they get a pass for cheating on their customers again and again. Strong words by Andres there. MJ, Pam is beautiful. Marcel, gold Panerais are awesome with someone else's money. The Pam does look cool with the blue and bronze. Always a good combo.
Yeah.
Had a bad experience with a lady named Pam, so I'm out. Yeah. I never owned a Panerai. Just hits me wrong design-wise. Brownie, I like the Pam at 42 for this model, but I'm afraid the real collectors won't appreciate it like the OG Bronzo.
Yeah.
It's not gonna like triple or quadruple in value like the Bronzo, but this is probably like you'll be able to get your money back, or like 80% of your money back if you pay full sticker. I would say for something like this. Like I was looking at Chrono 24, these were going slightly above list, but again, I also agree with Andres. Like any of this like quote unquote in-house movements and all that Panerai is throwing out these days, they're overpriced. The real value for Panerai is the old 7750 and the 6497 movements. That's probably where you want to sit with Panerai.
Agreed. Okay, so let's move on to the fourth category. 4 out of 7.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I feel like I'm doing hot takes here or controversial. Go ahead,
I
Marcus.
don't disagree with you, Amin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much of a lead in. Like some watches, they're just overrated. So this year, Adrian's Magic NATO Adventure Award goes to the most overrated release of the year.
So, some time ago, Vacheron came out with a Piece Unique watch. Some very cool looking guy did some very cool looking thing while wearing it. And then, it was kind of perfectly dangled so that everybody would be like, oh, I hope they make one. I hope they make one. I hope they make one for a long time. And then years later, they come out with this. It's not quite as cool as the one he was wearing. It's not full titanium like that one. Um, they did some cosmetic stuff. Everybody went crazy, like really bananas. Everybody wanted one. Look, it's an awesome watch again. I don't actually have negative feelings about it. It's a very awesome watch, but for the degree to which people went crazy over it, for what it is, I think it was a little excessive. That's all. That's my feeling.
yeah, I mean, I think I could say the same thing about the Zenith Chronomaster Sport. I mean, people really went bananas in a both positive and negative way, right? I mean, so positive, it looks great. Negative, people thought it looked too much like um, as a as a Daytona. And look, I got to be honest with you, I'm burnt out with Zenith El Primero movements and their watches. I'm just, there's 20 million of them. I feel like their vintage or their reissues are great, and maybe that's where I'm trending, and that's why I find this one kind of just like, okay, enough already. It's a nice watch, but enough already.
Can I say one more thing about the VC? I like the
Absolutely.
regular dual time better than that watch, than the normal one. Just as far as a watch, like how it looks, the actual qualities of it. I like the regular VC Overseas dual time better than that.
Am I up?
Yep.
Yeah, I think you're up, Paul.
And again, I see Andreas say I like the 4 watches in this category. I like all 4 watches in this category as well. This doesn't mean that we don't like the watch. We're just saying it's overrated, right? So I picked the white birch. Again, it's a lot of what you guys kind of said in the previous category. Um, it's a good watch, no doubt. It's got a great look and movement, but it's kind of debatable that it's even Grand Seiko's best looking dial. Um, but to win the GPHG and all that, I mean, and for people going crazy about it for so long, it just wore on me, and those 2 reasons are why it's overrated. Great watch, but overrated in my opinion.
All right, I guess I'll wrap up this category. So I picked the Hermes H08. It's not a bad watch. It's got a solid, well decorated movement. It's got a voucher in it. It's a reasonable price. But I mean, you could say the same thing about about the Aquaterra, right? So yeah, it's a square design, but I don't really care for it. And I really didn't see the hype. Like, what does it do? Does it like play La Marseillaise when someone comes within 5 feet, or like I don't know. It's for me. I don't have much to say, but I just didn't get the hype. It's just this ineffable feeling that I have about this watch. So I'm not going to go too deep into why I picked this watch for my most overrated release of the year.
Yeah.
And if anyone's interested, for Joe, we've got elbow in the face Coyote.
Yeah. On LeBron there. Rick Remiker, I love the VC, but not at that price. Justin saying, I do not agree with this in any way, but I do like Amin having a hot take.
Yeah.
Good Lord, the VC is one of the best watches in my opinion, says Bobby.
I think I'm getting the least. I have the least agreement, the least consensus for my picks tonight.
Yeah, it was a hot take. Yeah.
Chaz saying, I love the Chronomaster Sport. Paul's like, I love it too. Chaz is, I want all 4. Boo, Amin, says Daniel. why buy a VC overseas when you can get the Omega?
Oh, good idea.
Justin, Bobby is all on ELP, so I guess the Chronomaster isn't running the jewels. Okay. Hello, hey, watch food with me. How you doing? About 99% fewer El Primeros than the Mariners, Rob. Probably. I cannot stand the Zenith, but I suppose the VC is the most overrated if I had to pick. VC
Wow.
for me.
One for me.
Hey, Thomas. Good morning. The Hermes doesn't. The Hermes just doesn't look good at all. Wow, strong words. WB for me. The Zenith. Is there a hype for the Hermes?
Just look at our
There
chat
was.
and look at our live stream.
I think also in the industry, a lot of love for the
Yeah,
Hermes.
there
Got a
was.
lot of love.
There was a
Yeah.
lot of love for sure. To my top 5 of the year on this one. All
Oof,
right. Yeah.
devastating.
Okay. So moving on to the 5th award out of 7. Marcus?
Yeah.
All right. So, as many of you guys know, one member of our panel, who will go unnamed, has a very complicated and fraught relationship with the Poors. So, just to overcome these accusations of snobbery and all that, we decided to have a separate category for super expensive watches and not give our watch of the year to these super expensive watches. So so the Not for the Poor's award is given to the watch that we love the most for unlimited funds.
I'm crazy about this Urwerk 105 TTH. It's not even the materials. It's being tantalum and titanium. Really, the just the form of these watches, with the shield that opens and their implementation of wandering hours, I just think they're ultra cool watches. And honestly, in this price range, I can't think of a watch I'd rather have than this watch. I'm just totally smitten with it.
Yeah.
I'm totally smitten with the Glazuta original panel reverse. I hate this line, actually. I mean, this particular variation of this line, the panel reverse. But when I saw this release come out, now this is in platinum. It's not the most expensive watch by far on this board or in general. I think it's around 45,000 euros. It was one of those few pieces that I saw this year that really like took my breath away. I'm a big fan of Glashütte original, and so having seen the one model variation that I hate the most turn it totally completely around for me was definitely impactful. And so I've been thinking about this watch a lot and probably never own it. I mean, it's a limited edition. It's way above like what I'm comfortable ever spending on a watch. But man, I love this one. And yeah, if I had unlimited funds this year, this is the one I would get.
Okay, for me, I got the Alanganzun Honey
This was
Gold
the
Sightwork
least
Lumen.
surprising pick.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
As before, this is the least surprising pick.
So if anyone watches the stream, I love the Sightwork. Like for me, my ultimate goal is to one day have a Sightwork. So when they came out with a honey gold Sightwork with the lumen dial, so it's kind of semi-transparent. You can see, all the numbers underneath, illuminate. I mean, it's just everything that you got to love about ALS in the Sightwork all together. The movement, same incredible finishing, just levels upon levels of complication, and this is the ultimate Longa for me. So there we go.
Sightwork and Honey Gold is a good match.
Yeah.
For Joe, we've got a press conference, Kyrie. So
Yeah.
interested. So my pick. I think I touched on this at the tail end of the GPHG award show.
Mm.
But just the fact, that the paddock dropped its 5970 advanced ARS advanced research series, and I still picked this watch. Tells me that I'm really a Royal Oaks bit of a fanboy. So I picked the Royal Oak Super Sonnery. There's a lot to love about this watch. Unlike other minute repeaters, this has got a true 50-meter water resistance. It's got quite a robust power reserve, and it's got a lot of advancements in terms of the tech. It's got a soundboard which enhances the transmission of sound for the chimes, and it's also got the governor which regulates the gongs, the gear train of the chimes, and so those both work together to improve how audible the chimes are. So I think there's really a lot of good tech and spec in it. They really made it a point to try and keep the original sort of design language of the Royal Oak. It's not steel, but again, I think titanium is a worthy substitute, especially because it is less dense and it allows transmission of sound much better. And for me, I would say that this is I'm not going to say it's a grandson of, but it's kind of maybe a grandnephew, second removed from the Dufour Grand et Petit Sonnerie, because Philippe Dufour, he did all of his sonnery work with AP, and then they built on that with their RD1 in 2016, and then this is the natural successor to the RD1, which is the caliber 2953. They just put the governor in, and then they made it more waterproof, but they kept the soundboard. So lots of advanced tech and spec in it. I feel this is obviously a super sonnery is the height of complication, and it's in the form factor that I guess I'm a fanboy of, because I picked this over that crazy 5970 Paddock Advanced Research Series that they just dropped last week. So it is what it is.
Chris saying the AP for me on this one before he would have said Longa. Marcus wins the category according to Daniel. Marcel liking the Zeit work. Andre's happy to see the Glashut there. I'm trying to say it right. Urwerk 100%.
I would wear the hell out of that Urwerk.
Yeah.
All the time.
You should do it. Why don't you do it?
In that price category, it's maybe the only kind of watch that tempts me.
Yeah.
But
Neff saying the Lumen just doesn't go with a Honeygold, and I usually love the Lumens.
Which is not my usual kind of. It's not about the horology or the movement or any of that. I guess it's the art or the.
Yeah, it really looks cool.
Yeah.
Rick is with Colin here.
Blood
I'm
Brothers.
saying the Laurent Fleurier Traveler Time enamel dial would be his pick here.
That's beautiful.
I don't think it was released. Was it released this year? Did they release
I think it was.
Yeah.
Colin is goated after this.
Nice. Thanks, buddy.
The AP is a complicated watch. Impressive. Okay. Let's get going here. Second to last. Oh, let's go down here. Second to last category tonight. And Marcus.
Yeah. So we looked at even with the negative categories, like a lot of the watches were still good watches.
That's an ugly slide.
Yeah. And but I mean, there are a lot of good watches.
Sorry.
There are a lot of good watches, but there are also a lot of watches released this year that we wouldn't touch with the 100-foot pole. Incidentally, I think 100 feet is also the minimum distance that certain Grand Seiko enthusiasts have to stay away from high school. So
Allegedly.
So we have Ship's Barely Legal Stunner Award for the worst release of the year. So Amin, why don't you tell us about your
Okay.
Genius Blue Steel legacy?
Okay. So this company Genius came out with the artistic vision of doing a collision of the Nautilus and the Royal Oak for 5,000 euros. The website is so shady. Like they're like, if you look at it, it's pretty much, if you actually want to order one of these, we haven't made it yet. I mean, it's like, email us if you really want to order it, because we can't believe that you really want to order it. But yeah, the top half, as you can see, is a Nautilus homage, and the bottom half of the watch is a AP Royal Oak homage. And like it just takes the ridiculousness of some of the kind of pranks that we've seen from some other companies. Like, what was that recent watch that did the 505 error? Like that kind of humor, Erard, and the Moser pixelated eraser. It takes that kind of humor and takes it to the worst possible extreme, I think, of in the name of art. I just can't believe that they are actually
I
doing
feel
it.
like you shouldn't have even given them the credibility of including them in this category.
Yeah, that's probably true. You know what it is? Is I'm also wanting to go negative without
Yeah.
hurting feelings too.
Oh.
And I know nobody in our watching this is gonna buy this absolute
A
catastrophe.
lot of our viewers have the next one, so be careful, Bobby.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of our viewers have the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like the worst thing I've seen all year. I'm sorry. I don't even know. Words cannot put. I can't even put together with the words to tell you how much I hate this watch. And it's just such a head scratcher. You know what I mean? Like whose idea was this, and why do they still have a job? The Artemis Piguet with the Black Panther flying tourbillon that looks like he's sitting on his balls. I don't know what's going on here. That's all I'm going to say about it. I mean, I don't need to say any more.
Colin, do you want to go next?
I mean, I'll say a little bit, but my mouth hurts, so I'm not going to talk a lot. But I mean, the anniversary of the Explorer, everyone was really hyping up. Oh, I hope they bring back, the vintage look, all this, or something with a green hand or whatever. And then this is what they give us, right? A two-tone, 36 mil Explorer. Yeah, it was just a swing and a miss for me. Go ahead, Marcus. I'm sure you have more to say than I do.
Yeah. Well, just before that, if anyone's interested, Joe picked Flat Earth Kyrie for this category. So. Guys, I just couldn't this year. Like I don't have the energy. As you know, I'm a very positive person. I couldn't. I just didn't have the enough negativity to do a good job about trying to find the worst shitter of the year. It would have taken way too much effort. You would have had to, look at all the, the genetic crimes against horology from the island of Dr. Dumoreau. You'd have to, go through the Aegean stables. That is the Aragon and Montramart catalog. You've got to, look at all the. You got to sift through all the explosive excrement that opportunistic shysters are spruiking on the Bruce Williams channel. I just didn't have time to do all that. So like this is not the ugliest watch of the year for me. For me, I just kind of took a page out of Colin's book and picked a watch that's which released it just ruined a perfectly good design. And again, that's the two-tone Explorer. For me, a watch that I kind of dislike is the two-tone Tudor 36, the Black Bay 36. Mm-hmm. And this basically what Rolex has done is made an iconic watch more expensive, and then they've all at the same time made it look like a much cheaper watch. So I that's why I picked the Rolex Explorer two-tone, because I just didn't have the time to look through all the shitters and decide which one I hated the most.
Yeah. Sanjay loves the two-tone Explorer.
We should
Sanjay,
invite Sanjay on to talk
I
about
will-
our group watch for a minute as retaliation for all this talk about the two-tone
I
Explorer.
will still help you get a two-tone Explorer from my AD if you want.
Brownie thought the Genius was a spoof watch. Andres
It
saying,
hurts so much hearing Sanjay talk about our group watch that way.
Yeah.
Am I alone in that? Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
was hoping to address this in a different segment, but
Okay.
I agree with you, Amin.
Yeah.
I'm very hurt.
I was very hurt.
I didn't want to detract from our
I
award
don't know.
show.
Yeah.
The pain.
I'm just
Such
disappointed.
a special moment that we were having.
Yeah.
And,
Stands the time April Fools. Genius Genta is the worst release. Let's hear. Yeah, Wakanda Forever. You didn't
surprised
see
you watched
that
that
movie.
movie.
He
No.
didn't. He didn't see that movie. He did not. He saw it like on a
He probably saw the trailer for it.
on a preview from when he was watching the Hogan's Heroes DVD. Fugly but sells at a huge premium. Go Marcus, go.
I agree. There were uglier watches.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
than
definitely
these.
uglier watches.
Like
for
there was
sure.
a Hublot. I almost threw up when I looked at it, but yeah, it would have taken too much. work to
Little
research.
too late to walk this back, Sanjay. You're on
Speaking
YouTube
freely.
for forever.
Yeah.
Saying what you said.
Yep.
And of course, he has not seen the movie.
It's a liar too.
Yeah. Okay.
he's just yelling out Wakanda Forever. He has no idea what it means.
Yeah. So we're gonna move to the final category, and chat. I'm gonna throw a poll up on the chat and see what you guys vote for using these 4 watches. What you think the watch of the year should be. So let me throw that up for you guys. Ask the community. Sorry. Okay. Doing a couple things at the same time. Sorry about that. Let me zoom in. And Marcus?
All right. So, sports fans have always been intrigued by two-way players, whether it's players who play defense and offense in football, or players who can pitch and hit in baseball. So, but no athlete has enthralled and embodied the idea of a two-way star as Shohei Ohtani this year. He pitched at a Cy Young level, and he won the MVP, and he hit at a very elite level and just had an incredible year. Okay. And likewise, I like to think of our fellow panelist who's absent, Shohei Ohtani, as someone who's a two-way star as well. A lot of us think that Joe only has one talent, but that talent being that of convincing husband and wife watchmakers to enter into a consensual couples swinging arrangement. But actually, Joe has shown a modicum of horological knowledge. So I think that Joe's a great two-way live streamer. So that's why we're going to name this year's watch of the year after our absent friend Shohei Ohtani, who's looking for the edge of the world right now.
All right. Well, I'll lead us off here. I have got to push back on the fact that this white birch got 3 negative awards this year from the rest of the panel, and I'll start off by being honest. I don't want this watch. I'm not going to buy this watch, but I think that it's my watch of the year because of its significance. You know, Marcus said a lot of it before. But if you look at it, how many watches have an industrialized dual impulse escapement at all, right? It's Omega did it. And then who else? Grand Seiko's the next one to bring it at this kind of scale, at this kind of price point. to the market, and they did so while simultaneously extending power reserve, making their movement thinner, making their high beat watch thinner. That's all making a movement architecture that actually looks good. Those are all major advancements on something that already offered what other watches don't offer in this price category, which is a complex case, hand finishing on the case, hand finishing on the indices and the hands. It's such an impressive watch that they were able to do this. So much horological value, and it's my watch of the year. I think it's an incredible achievement and offering by Grand Seiko.
Joe, chiming in.
Ceiling Cho is watching us.
Yeah,
the whole
Ceiling
time.
Joe is watching us, right? Ceiling Joe. Where is Ceiling Joe? Yeah, there he is. There he is. Okay. All right. Yeah. Who's next?
You are.
Okay. All right. So I know this is not even close to being the sexiest pick out of all of these here, out of all the new releases. But this pick is mainly done for selfish reasons. I had no interest in IWC ever until this year and with this release, and I started thinking on Janor, but I came back to this release in particular. I have a good buddy of mine that has the Big Pilot, in Big Pilot 45, and he has a wrist size like mine, but it looks huge on him. He loves it. Great. I could never wear it. But when they came out with this, and I was just floored by how simple it was and how beautiful it was to me, and it really totally changed how I feel about IWC. Um, I know this example has a strap on it, but it has the bracelet with a great bracelet. There's no window, there's no date window here as you would see with a bigger Big Pilot. Everything's very, very symmetrical. It is so basic but so beautiful. It really, I just love this watch, and to me, this was dare I say it, my favorite release of the year. Um, and I can't believe I'm saying that. And I can't believe I'm saying it. So great job, IWC. I think you got a fan in me now, and maybe something I'll add this year or 2022 for sure.
I agree. IWC had a fantastic year.
Yeah.
They
Mhm.
really did.
Yeah.
So I went with, so there was this guy who did some really cool stuff, and they put a really cool watch on him, and everyone really liked it. And then they made that watch finally, and it's pretty awesome. So the Everest Duel Time, I mean, come on, guys. I mean, first of all, it's a great watch to begin with. What they did was they made this much more rugged, much more sporty, less dressy. It's got fantastic colorway, good materials. The gold rotors engraved like Everest. It's just, to me, it's just absolutely gorgeous. Yes, it was super hyped. Yes, it was, you know, a master class in promotion of a watch, right? Like they did it all perfect, but it all worked. Like there are very few people, except for Amin, I think, who just did not like this.
I like it.
Well, you didn't like the way it was done, I think, right? You
I
didn't
didn't
like
like it.
the
I didn't like it as much as
yeah, yeah,
it was a bit of a turnoff. Yeah, the way they did
yeah,
it. But I think
yeah.
I like the watch.
I think it's just drop dead gorgeous. Like they've made it rugged enough where it's actually a sports watch. Because realistically, like my Vacheron's not something I would wear doing sports. Like it's just not. I'm sorry, it's a little too pretty, but they've done it with this, and it's beautiful. I love it. So this is my watch of the year. Marcus,
Cool.
go ahead.
I think I'm going a little bit off the beaten path. And so I'm picking the new Ton. As you may or may not know, Parmigiani released an entirely new line. They've got a new CEO, and they've released the Tonda PF collection. They've got the ultra thin, date only. They've got the annual calendar, and they've got the chronograph. So first things first is that I love Parmigiani. I'm biased. I'm always looking for a reason to give them credit. And the fact is that they do hand guilloche on the dial, and at 35,000, a lot of brands charging that much money are not doing handwork guilloche. A lot of them are stamping. So kudos to Parmigiani for that. I like the dial balance with the the chronograph subdials, and the new logo. I think it was a little unbalanced with the time only, time only plus date, and this has got everything in it. It's an integrated bracelet. The bracelet looks great. I enjoy the lozenge pushers. It's 100 meters water resistance. It's as thick as a Daytona. It's a chronometer. And more importantly, I think that this is like a high horology. I'm a big fan of the El Primero, the original El Primero, and for me, this is like a high horology take on the El Primero. There's a lot of design cues from the El Primero in this new movement, but again, just the depth of it, the amount of finishing. This is a spectacular watch, and I think that again, for me, I look at watch of the year as well. Does it elevate the brand? I think this entire collection elevates the brand, but especially the chronograph. I almost picked the annual calendar, but a couple of things held me back. One was because this is an integrated one versus the annual calendar is a module, and then there was quite a lot of power reserve loss with the annual calendar. So that's why I ended up picking the chronograph. But again, both are very well decorated. The dial aesthetics look very similar. So that's my watch of the year.
I almost picked this to buy with someone else's money.
I love it.
It is a gorgeous watch.
Not too many watches in this category that you can put a macro on at the very, very highest magnification anywhere on the watch, anywhere you want, any tiny millimeter of the dial, and you're going to see something special.
Colin's toothless lisp is almost as cute as Sanjay's giggle.
Oh, appreciate it, buddy.
The Tonda PF time date is a great watch. The gray dial is the nicest one, I think.
I saw an ad for the time and date all gold today. It's stunning.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Not a big fan of these the new releases. No, I'm just being honest. I like the more classic Parmigiani.
They're a little too pretty. I mean, for me, personally.
There's a lot of empty space, especially with the three-hander on the dial for me. Which I'm not necessarily opposed to. It's just it doesn't work for me on the dial, especially with the shortened name on the dial. No replacement for hand guilloche. Neff is sold. I love the PF. Watch Nicholas saying that the PF Tonda has grown on me. Tonda forever. So Tonda getting a lot of love, as well as the VC. Let's close up that poll for the chat's participation watch of the year, and it looks like VC ran away with it. 46% of the vote. So well done, Colin. Grand Seiko was a distant second at 25%. The Big Pilot 43 at 15, and Marcus's Tonda selection getting the 12%.
Ooh,
Parmigiani's never going to be the popular vote.
No, it's not.
No.
But you argued very well. You made a great case for it.
Yeah. Well, that concludes the second annual AminSellsStraps Awards. Marcus, again, great job hosting it. It was awesome. It was awesome. Any final thoughts from the panel about the awards, about this year in watches?
Do you guys want to do any kind of watch New Year's resolutions, or is that a future one?
Nah, you never know. Let's do it. Sure. What do you
I'll lead off.
Okay.
I'm going to put it on tape. I'm
Okay.
only going to get one watch over $1,000 in 2022.
Not counting stuff on order.
Not counting stuff on order. So I got 2 watches that are going to come in the next month. Not counting those.
Okay.
That,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna get 2 watches above $1,000 next year.
I have no freaking clue what I'm gonna do. I'm just, I don't do
any
resolutions.
resolution? Doesn't have to be how many watches you're going to get. Any?
But I like this though. I think I'm gonna go. My eesh. 3.
3.
Are they all
I'm at-
Rolexes?
No.
3. Nice.
I'm setting my line at 7, and I'm taking the over.
For us or for you?
For me.
For you. Oh, good.
Just, I mean, I don't have that many on my radar, but it'll probably happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick
All
order
right.
more for New Year's.
How many watches will you sell next year? Any?
4.
4.
Well, no, I'll say more than that, because out of the 7, not all 7 would stick.
I'm going to put mine at
Maybe
2.
7.
2, I'm going to say 2.
Marcus, you don't sell.
Yeah, I think I might go 2 in, 2 out. We'll see. I'm at the point where I feel like I'll have too many watches, so might be a 2 in, 2 out year.
Yeah, I think me 2.
Any other resolutions?
I'm gonna try and buy less pens.
Less pens.
That's where they get you.
Define less.
Fewer.
Fewer.
Does the chat got any
I want to know who the
resolutions?
chat thought was the best watch of the year. Under 35K.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna get a Daytona if offered. Me too.
Yeah. No way I make it to 3. Marcus funds his purchases by selling pens to Sanjay. The Explorer 2 is a goner in 2022.
I got to try to make it till late February 2022 before I buy one, because if I get one in like February, then I'm cooked.
Well, you got 2 that are probably close.
2 pretty close, yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, probably only 1, but let's pretend that the other one's coming.
Let's hope. We can hope.
Neff is saying, I just want my palm dial, and that's it. I mean, Neo, Neo, you're peace and love to everyone.
What a nice guy.
Nice guy. You're trying to class up the stream. Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, I want that too. I want peace and love for everyone. Absolutely. Whoa. Joe saying the Hublot Unigo Sarai. Sarai,
I guess.
Sarai.
Yeah, that's the Unico chronograph Safari style.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool on the rubber camo.
Bobby's saying that the majority will be independents.
Yeah, I think so.
I believe him.
That's what he's got on order.
Yeah.
Well, folks,
it's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been a good 2021.
Been a good year.
Good year, a lot of watches, a lot of good times. Learned that Sanjay has never seen a movie before in his life, I have to say. I would have to say, I didn't mock it up, but he's definitely been, to me, the most valuable collector for 2022, for sure. I mean, I know there's some great ones out there, especially in this chat.
He did carry on the live streams while we were on hiatus.
He did.
Yep.
He did.
That was huge.
Rockstar.
Yeah. And just the fact that drives with watch boxes in his
Yeah.
trunk, you know,
Yeah.
ready to trade a watch in at any particular moment, any accident happens, or any.
Yeah. It's like the Norman Bates of the watch world.
Yeah.
Just
Let's take
snaps
Chaz.
and goes crazy.
Yeah.
Chaz's question here. What's the panel's favorite watch purchased this year?
Like personal watch purchase?
I guess
Like
so.
you mean personally, or like of the four of us? Like
I don't know.
Well, mine has to be. I mean, is this like for us? Like,
I wonder.
yeah, I mean, it's a
Masco, right?
Submariner. It's a Submariner for sure.
I don't know what mine is, honestly.
Can you
I think mine
remember
is
all the
this
watches
one
you got?
because it's probably the only one that's going to stay.
The Pam?
Yeah, I suspect
yeah.
the Sanjay Speedy and the Explorer might be gone. Those are probably the two that will be gone. So, I got 3 watches this year. This one's probably the only one that's going to stay. So by default,
I love my overseas so much, so that's an easy pick for me.
No, I'm honestly not sure. I think I got this UN this year. I know I'm alone in my thoughts, but I love this watch. It might be my.
You didn't get that this year, did you?
Did I not get the? Was
it
it
was
last
gone
year?
like all year.
Oh yeah, maybe it was last year.
You got something recently that was
You
really
got like
It's up there.
I think you got something recently that's pretty
No,
sweet.
they're honestly I got a lot of watches that I like a lot this year.
But like recently though, you really got one.
Yeah, what was the last one you got though?
I really like the IWC.
Oh,
I don't know.
All right, let's close it out with it. Amin. Amin. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Take care.